For more than 20 years, I built what many people would call a successful corporate career. I held leadership positions, managed important projects, worked with talented teams, received recognition that I had worked hard for, enjoyed luxurious materialistic comforts. But there was something I rarely spoke about, a quiet voice that seemed to follow me from one achievement to the next, a voice that kept asking, and what if I'm not as capable as people think? What if I've just been lucky? What if one day people discover I don't belong here? The strange thing was, the more I achieved, the louder that voice sometimes grew. And for years, I thought I was the only one. Today, I want to share one of the most important lessons I learned, not from corporate training programs or leadership books, but from ancient traditions that help me understand a struggle millions of people face. A struggle today known as the Imposter Syndrome. There was a period in my career when everything seemed to be moving in the right direction. New responsibilities, greater visibility, more opportunities. The kind of progress many professionals aspire to. Yet internally, I often felt something very different. Instead of celebrating achievements, I would immediately focus on what I hadn't done well. Instead of acknowledging progress, I would compare myself with people who seemed more experienced, more confident, or more accomplished. Whenever something went well, I would tell myself, that was luck. Anyone could have done that. Next time, I may not be so fortunate. Looking back now, I realize I wasn't suffering from a lack of competence. I was suffering from a lack of self-trust. And there is a difference. As I moved through different roles and interacted with more leaders, I began noticing something unexpected. Many highly successful people carried similar doubts. People I deeply admired. People others viewed as exceptionally confident. Privately, they would share fears that sounded remarkably familiar. Questions like, am I really ready? Do I deserve this opportunity? What if I fail? Earlier, people compared themselves with a few dozen individuals in their community. But today, we compare ourselves with thousands of people across the globe. People with more money, more followers, more accomplishments, more recognition. And no matter how much we achieve, there always seems to be someone ahead. The result? A growing sense that we are somehow falling behind. Even when we're not. It was eye-opening. The issue wasn't a lack of capability. The issue was how we perceived ourselves. And that realization started me on a deeper search, not just through psychology, but through wisdom that has existed for thousands of years. What fascinated me was that ancient wisdom traditions from different parts of the world seem to arrive at a similar conclusion. Human suffering often begins when we attach our identity to things that constantly change. Achievements, status, recognition, reputation, personal belongings. The modern world encourages us to build our identity around these things. But ancient thinkers warned against it, because anything that depends on external validation will always create insecurity. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna teaches a profound psychological truth. Focus on your duty, not your self-image. The mind can either elevate us or sabotage us. In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, one of the causes of suffering is asmita, means identifying yourself with the ego or the stories in your mind. The anxious voice claiming I'm a fraud is simply mental conditioning. Modern neuroscience agrees. The inner narrative determines performance far more than objective ability. And suddenly, something clicked in me. For years, I had been trying to prove my worth through performance, through achievement, through success, through material accomplishments. But no achievement ever felt enough, because I had unknowingly made achievement responsible for my self-worth. And that is a burden achievement can never carry. One of the most liberating realizations of my life was understanding this: my value does not increase when I succeed, and it does not decrease when I fail. Success can change my circumstances. It cannot define my worth. Failure can teach me lessons. It cannot diminish who I am. This may sound simple, but when you truly understand it, something shifts. You stop treating every challenge as a test of your value and start treating it as an opportunity to learn. Even today, self-doubt occasionally visits. The difference is that I no longer treat it as the truth. I treat it as a thought, a temporary mental event, not a fact. Instead of asking, or am I good enough? I ask, or am I acting with integrity? Instead of asking, well, how do I compare with others? I ask, well, am I growing? And instead of seeking validation from the outside world, I try to stay connected to something deeper, a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning, a sense of inner stability. If you've ever felt like you don't belong, if you've ever doubted yourself despite your accomplishments, if you've ever worried that one day people will discover you're not enough, I want you to know something. You are not alone and you are not broken. The voice of self-doubt is a very old human experience, but so is the wisdom that helps us move beyond it. What transformed my relationship with imposter syndrome was not becoming perfect. It was realizing that my worth was never something I needed to earn in the first place. Perhaps that's the lesson ancient wisdom has been trying to teach us all along, that beneath our achievements, beneath our fears, beneath all the roles we play, there is already enough. Thank you for watching. And until next time, stay present, stay mindful, stay happy, and keep discovering the wisdom hidden within everyday life.